Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at Practice in Music Theory pages 28, 29 and page 30. And you can see these are the accidentals that we find in music: flats, sharps and naturals. So before we practice writing them, let's go to the keyboard and make sure that we understand what happens when a note becomes flat, sharp or returned to natural. So here we have the keyboard, and let's say, for example, I play an E. If that becomes an E flat, then I'm going to move it one step down, one semitone, which means the note right next door to it, down, so to the left, down in sound. That's E flat. Let's take, for example, the note F. If I want to make that an F sharp, I'm going to move it to the right, one semitone higher. So another note, this one is A. Make it a flat, and A, make it a sharp, there's A sharp. You might notice that A sharp can also be called B flat. It's the same note. What happens if we want to make E a sharp? Well, we go to the next note, the next door note, which is F. So E sharp is actually the same note as F. And F flat, one step down, is the same note as E. So let's get to writing these signs out. So this is a flat. You can see it looks a bit like a B, but it's got a little kink in it there. It's almost like it's half a heart. Like that. It lowers a note by one semitone. So a semitone means that we go to the note right next to it. So this is a semitone between G and G flat. A flat. If you look at the distance between A and G, you can see there's a note in between. That's called a tone. So semitones are the notes right next to each other. Okay, so we're going to practice drawing them. Write a flat before each note and then give it its letter name. Make sure that the flat is correctly positioned. So we've got to put the flat, this is the correct one. If you look at where the space is for the note, that's the same as where the space is for the flat. The line's going directly through the middle. So we're going to practice drawing them nice and neatly. So if you'd like to pause the video, you can do that and get on with writing flats, or you can do it with me now. So this note is on a line. So we're going to draw a flat. Make sure the space is in the same spot as the note. And we need to name this note. So in the treble clef. This note is on a line, so we can use every good boy drinks Fanta. So that's E for every. And then the flat comes afterwards. So the flat sign comes before the note, but after the letter name or the note name. This note over here, we're going to write a flat in front of it. There it is. Maybe this can be a little bit longer. This note here is one step below the E. One step below E, lower than E is D, and the flat comes just after it. Another one here, flat, it's the same as this one, so E flat. Nice capital letters when you're naming notes, followed by the accidental sign. Same as this one, same position, D flat. Beautiful. Now onto notes in the bass clef. Okay, so we're going to write a flat in front. We're in the bass clef, and that's in a space. All cows eat grass. So that's a G flat. So if this is a G, this note will be A. You can also use your rhyme. Great big dogs fight angrily. That would be the note on the line. One step up after A in the alphabet, A, B. Here we have great big dogs fight angrily. Oh, I didn't write my flat sign in front. All cows eat grass, same as our first note. There it is there, it's another B flat. So that's a page with flats, and remember that a flat makes the note lower. So if you're playing on the violin, you're going to pull your finger down towards the scroll to make a note flat. Moving on to the sharp sign. This is a sharp, and it raises the note by a semitone. So here's G, we go up one step higher, it becomes G sharp, A sharp. Write a sharp before each note and then give its letter name. Make sure that each sharp is correctly positioned. So again, if you look at where the space of the sharp is, there it is. That's where you're going to position the sharp. It needs to have two straight lines and then two slightly skew lines. The reason for the skew lines is so that they don't overlap with the lines of our stave and disappear from sight. So that's why we have two straight lines and two slightly skew lines. Okay, so here we go. This one here, we've got to imagine this line, two straight lines, two slightly skew lines. And that is our very special middle C. So that is a C sharp. Same rule applies. Letter name comes first, followed by the sharp sign, even though the sharp comes before the note. Over here, two straight lines. You can see there's the space of the note. There's the space. I can almost fit that note head into my sharp sign. That's how it needs to look. This one here, great big dogs fight. F sharp. Great big dogs fight angrily. A sharp. And this one, great big dogs fight, same as this one here, F sharp. Now the treble clef. And this very special note is at the bottom of my treble clef, so that's our middle C, C sharp. So if I were to play this note and play that note, it would be exactly the same note on the piano. It's this note here, C sharp. Over here, in a space, so this is where we really need those lines to go slightly skew, so they don't overlap on the lines of the stave. And that is, remember we use face, F-A-C-E, so F sharp. And this one, every good boy drinks Fanta, so G sharp. This one is just below the every, so E line, so one step down, E, one step down, D sharp. So in fact, E one step down to D sharp would be there. And then the last one, every good, that's a G sharp. Okay, over the page we go. Last page, this is a natural. Now the natural will bring the note back to its original pitch. So if you have a C sharp in the piece and then you want to play a C, you have to put a natural sign in front of it to make it the plain C again. So it applies both ways. Sometimes it raises a note. So if the note was G flat, then a G natural is going to be a semitone higher. But if it was a sharp, G sharp, then the G natural means that it's going to be a semitone lower. Okay, and then a little bit of fun over here on page 31, if you'd like to. You can color each area with a flat sign yellow. So we're looking for all of these ones here. Color them yellow. Color each area with a sharp sign brown. So they're all your sharp signs. They look like hashtags. And color each area with a natural sign red. So all your natural signs over here. And then you can color the rest of the picture any way you choose. Have fun.